Hello students, welcome to our online tutorial class. Today I am going to teach you chapter 13 from your science textbook, and the name of the chapter is Why Do We Fall Ill? First and foremost, let us try to understand what is health. According to WHO, health is defined as the state of complete physical, mental and social well-being. Okay? So, being healthy is far more than just being free from diseases. The health of all the organisms will depend on their surrounding or their environment. Let us see what are the factors that affect the health. Now, physical environment, social environment, public cleanliness, balanced diet and personal cleanliness. Now, physical environment. So, temperature, physical environment such as temperature, climatic change and other factors affects the health. Then social environment like the job condition, your neighborhood, office atmosphere, again social equality and harmony. Okay, so these are the social factors that affect the health. Then the next is public cleanliness like garbage disposal, sewage treatment, dumping grounds and other factors. So, if we don't have dumping grounds, proper dumping grounds in our area, it may lead to poor health. Okay? So, these are the factors that affect the health. Then we should also have a good balanced diet. Okay? A balanced diet food is very important for good health, and also personal cleanliness. So, we should maintain personal cleanliness. Now, let us try to understand what is disease and its causes. So, disease can be defined as an impairment or malfunctioning of the normal state of the living organism that disturbs or modifies the performance of the vital functions. Okay? So, you have to keep in your mind that disturbs or modifies the performance of the vital functions. So, what are the causes of diseases? So, there are two important factors that cause diseases. So, the factors are internal factors and the external factors. So, what are internal factors? The disease causing factors which exist within the human body are called internal factors. Now, so we can say that improper malfunctioning of the various parts such as liver, kidney, etc. So, this is an internal factor. Again, genetic disorder, one more internal factors that may give rise to diseases. Again, malfunctioning of the immune system of the body, hormonal imbalance are some of the internal factors that may lead to diseases. Then, what are the external factors? What do you mean by external factors? The disease causing pathogenic external agents which enter the human body from outside are referred to as the external factors. The disease causing pathogenic external agents that may enter the human body from outside are referred to as the external factors. What are pathogens? Pathogens are disease causing microorganisms. Clear? So, pathogens are disease causing microorganisms. So, what are the factors? What are the external factors? Unbalanced diet, then disease causing microorganisms such as virus, bacteria, fungi, protozoa, etc. Again, environmental pollutants is also an external factors that may lead to diseases. tobacco, alcohol and narcotic drugs also may lead to diseases. Okay, so these are the internal factors that may give rise to diseases. Now, the next topic is acute and chronic diseases. What do you mean by acute and chronic diseases? So, as I have written here, acute and chronic diseases. The diseases that last for a very short period of time are called acute diseases. Example, common cold. Okay, so it lasts for a short period of time. So it is known as acute diseases that last for a very short period of time. Then what are chronic diseases? Chronic diseases last for a long period of time, even as much as lifetime, are known as chronic diseases. Example, diabetes, cardiovascular disease, etc. Now, let us try to understand the difference between infectious or communicable diseases and non-infectious or non-communicable diseases. Okay, so infectious or communicable diseases, non-infectious or non-communicable diseases. So, infectious diseases are caused by the attack of pathogens, but non-infectious diseases are caused by factors other than pathogens. Okay? Now, the diseases are brought about by external factors. Infectious diseases or communicable diseases are brought about by external factors. Now, non-infectious diseases or communicable diseases are mostly brought by internal factors. Infectious diseases can pass from diseased person to healthy person. Okay, it can pass from diseased person to healthy person. But non-infectious diseases cannot pass from one person to another. Keep it in your mind. It cannot pass from one person to another. So, some of the examples of infectious or the communicable diseases are cold, cholera, malaria, etc. are infectious or communicable diseases. And some examples of non-communicable diseases are diabetes, hypertension, etc. So, these are some of the examples of non-infectious diseases. Now, what are infectious agents? Virus, bacteria, fungi, protozoa, worms are infectious agents. Now, what are the diseases caused by infectious agents? Some of the diseases that are caused by virus are common cold, influenza, AIDS, chickenpox, swine flu, etc. Some of the diseases that are caused by bacteria are typhoid fever, cholera, tuberculosis, food poisoning, etc. Now, diseases caused by fungi are ringworm and many other skin infections. Diseases caused by protozoa are malaria, amoebic dysentery, etc. Diseases caused by worms are intestinal worm infections, elephantiasis, and many other diseases. Now, the next topic is means of spread of infectious disease. Okay? How infectious diseases spread. So, infectious disease spread through air, through water, through vectors, through social contacts. Okay? Now, which are the diseases that spread through air? So, common cold, tuberculosis, pneumonia are some of the infectious diseases that spread through air. Now, which are the diseases that spread through water? Like cholera, amoebic dysentery are some of the infectious diseases that spread through water. So, which are the diseases that spread through vectors? So, what are vectors? Vectors are the carrier of disease causing agents. They are the carrier, okay? So they are the carriers of disease causing agents like mosquito and flies. Okay? So infectious diseases spread through vectors like mosquito and flies. Like malaria is caused by mosquitoes. Again, typhoid is caused by some of the flies. Okay? Again, infectious diseases also spread through sexual contact. Okay? So, infectious diseases are also spread through sexual contact. Now, principles of treatment. How to treat any disease? What are the main principles of treatment? So, there are two main principles of treatment. One is to reduce the effect of the diseases, and the other is to kill the cause of the diseases. So, these are the two main principles of treatment. So, first of all, reduce the effect. That means you take medicine to reduce pain, fever or other symptoms. Okay? You take medicines to reduce the pain, fever or other symptoms. Then you take rest to conserve energy. So that means you are reducing the effects. Okay? Either you take rest, so you take medicine to reduce the pain, fever or other symptoms, and also you take rest to conserve energy. Clear? Now, the second principle is to kill the cause. To kill the cause. That means you take appropriate medicine to kill the microbes. You take appropriate medicines to kill the microbes. One example is when you take antibiotic, this antibiotic go and kill the microbes. For example, if you are suffering from some bacterial infection, then you take antibiotic which will directly kill the bacteria. Okay? So, these are the two main principles of treatment. As you know, prevention is better than cure. So, let us see the general principles of prevention. Okay? So, we have two general principles. One is general ways of prevention and the other is specific ways of prevention. So, first of all, let us see what is general ways of prevention. One of the ways that to prevent exposure to microbes. One of the general way is to prevent exposure to microbes. How you can do it? Like avoid overcrowded living condition. Okay? Then clean drinking water. Okay? To prevent waterborne diseases, you have to use clean drinking water. Again, clean environment to avoid vector-borne diseases. Okay, the next general ways of prevention is that proper nourishment and food to keep the immune system strong enough. So, if your immune system is strong, so you will not fall sick very easily. So, the next is proper nourishment and food to keep the immune system strong enough. In order to remain healthy and keep yourself away from diseases, you have to take proper food and keep your immune system strong. Now, the next way is there is a specific ways of prevention. So, what are the specific ways of prevention? Now, if someone is suffering from a cold and cough in the class, it is likely that the children sitting around will be exposed to the infection. But not all of them will catch the infection. This may be due to strong immune system. Okay, all of them may not catch the infection. What is the reason behind it? Maybe due to strong immune system. So, we can say immunity as it is a resistance against diseases. Immunity is the resistance against diseases. To raise our immunity level, vaccination is done. To raise our immunity level, vaccination is done. Now, what is vaccination? It is the process of injecting either killed or weakened microorganism in a person's body so as to raise his immunity level. Okay? So, it functions in the following manner. Like when vaccination is given, the body fails to recognize it, and in response it secretes certain antibodies that try to or kill the infecting causing foreign agent. Okay? It functions in the following manner, like when vaccination is given, the body fails to recognize it, and in response it secretes certain antibodies that try to or kill the infecting causing foreign agent. That's all in this video. Thank you.